Stuttering John, by the way, we're going to be playing this for you in a few minutes. We sent him over to this press conference that Denise Brown held yesterday. She is the sister of Nicole Simpson. I have requested that Denise Brown come on the show because, quite frankly, she goes on these shows and talks about how she believes O.J. Committed these murders. I happen to agree with her, and I certainly would be vocal about it. These other shows have her on, and they all remain neutral. They're like, well, how can you say this? And, they're playing devil's advocate.
Proof?
Yeah.
Do you think this will prevent O.J. from getting a fair trial?
So we sent Stuttering John over to the Denise Brown press conference, and he asked a question. It wasn't a rough question, but evidently, from what I understand, the guy who was doing the questioning before Stuttering John, the so-called legitimate press, was really rough on her.
I think that was the first guy to even ask a question. Stuttering John wasn't first or second.
No. And what it was the tone of the press conference was pretty angry. It was like, hey, how can you stand up there as the sister of Nicole Simpson and promote No Excuses jeans?
With all those banners and signs.
Yeah.
All the advertising.
And she basically said, look, I'm trying to raise money for battered wives, so, however I get it done, what's the difference? It's for a good cause. And I guess they were pounded her pretty heavy, and then John started asking his goofy questions, and
they
she
just
split.
Filled in the mix.
Yeah, and all the reporters were mad at John, but quite frankly, come on, they were worse than John.
Well, you know what it was? John was just the last guy to ask the O.J. question before she walked out.
Everyone else was asking O.J. questions.
She said, John, somebody asked an O.J. question. She said, I'm not going to answer that. And then, people just kept asking them. And
I don't know.
One of the people that kept asking.
But in all seriousness, I don't know why she wouldn't answer any O.J. questions. I mean, she's got to realize she's not a celebrity. I mean, the reason that she exists in the media is because of the O.J. situation. Why would somebody have a question other than that?
You're right.
What did she think they were going to ask her? Do you think battered women are bad, and how will you raise money for battered women? I mean, you can't, if you hold a press conference, you can't regulate what the press asks you. You're not the president. Like, the president sometimes gets in front of the press, makes a speech, and then leaves. But if you're holding a press conference, the press should be allowed to ask you what your favorite color is or whatever else,
But the press also gets to ask the president anything if he opens it up for questions. He can't limit them.
Absolutely. You can say no comment, but you've got to stand there and answer the questions, yeah.
You know what the most unfair part of that press conference was yesterday? After that guy started by asking her, how do you feel about being with No Excuses jeans? And she answered it. He followed up by saying, well, how do you feel now that you're in the company of Marla Maples and Joan Rivers?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that had to do with anything.
Well, I think what he was trying to say is, here you are saying that you're having a serious, fundraising effort, and somehow this is frivolous because
a lot of times it's been a joke.
Yeah.
Those spokespeople.
Yeah. Who knows?
And she didn't know how to answer it. She should have just said, hey, you know what? They gave me $50,000, and I'll take it wherever I can get it. Instead, she was like...
And it's not like the $50,000's for me. It's for battered wives.
But she started like, She didn't know how to answer it. It made it sound worse.
Nobody had prepared her,
right.
it seemed, for what was going to happen.
Well, I mean, how much preparation do you need?
She obviously needed a lot.
They should have pumped her full of info.
You could tell that everybody around was
You know what? I'm interested in hearing the tape now, I think.
Okay, it's right up there.
I know I'm supposed to wait, but...
You could just tell that everybody was shocked that they didn't love her and just be really nice to her.
Yeah, I guess they thought the sympathy factor would prevent people from asking real questions.
Well, she could have gotten sympathy in 2 seconds, because all she had to do was answer the guy's question and say, hey,
My sister died.
My sister died, and I really feel strongly about this battered woman, and sometimes you got to do whatever, I didn't see anybody else stepping forward with $50,000, and this No Excuses is willing to start it off with $50,000. So who cares? I couldn't care if there's 90 signs behind me, because if a woman is getting her head bashed in somewhere, and this is going to help her, who cares? Hang more signs behind me, you dolt.
Yeah, I'm looking for other advertisers. Anybody out there?
Yes, I'll take Coke, Pepsi, or anyone. In fact, I'm shocked that there aren't more signs behind me.
Yeah, why is it only No Excuses?
Yeah. I mean, that's how you answer the question, but...
But you see, you're media savvy, Howard.
Oh, thank you, Rob. Wait a second, let me soak it. Let me bask in that compliment. Yeah.
She doesn't know how to steer a press conference.
Hell, I'm in for $20.
If she'll come here and talk.
Yeah. So she got pissed off at you, but I think she was pissed off at the situation,
She didn't even really look pissed off. She sort of smiled and then walked off.
Oh, you saw it on TV?
Yeah.
Hey, John.
Hi.
She just couldn't take any more O.J. questions.
You're a weird guy, man.
Now what?
I don't know. You're just strange.
I'm just sitting here, man.
Okay. All right, anyway, so here is Stuttering John at the press conference for Denise Brown.
But beyond the existing interventions, the Nicole Brown Simpson Charitable Foundation, that specific purpose is to...
What's she reading at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time she got nervous, she went and like, give a quick look down to her notes, you know?
Yeah. You know, one of the cool things to do when you're reading is try to look like you're reading and not try to look like you're not reading. Just read.
Unless you have it memorized, and you can only take that quick glance without losing your place.
Otherwise, just read from the card. Everyone knows you're reading. You know? Don't try to look like you're not. That's like bad news, because it always looks funny.
That's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Because it always causes that little glitch, too.
The cool thing to do is to wear shades. That's what I do. No one can tell what I'm doing. I just wear the shades. I'm always reading. I remember we used to use teleprompter at Channel 9 sometimes. And everyone said, well, you got to train yourself to look. I said, no, I don't.
Your eyes can't move.
Yeah, I said,
the whole thing.
Just give me some shades. They go, well, you can't wear shades on television. I said, watch me do it. Watch me do it and watch me get away with it. Bastards.
educate the community about the dangers of family abuse and to promote programs that seek to change the causes of such abuse and to facilitate the treatment of both the victims and the aggressors. We pledge our time, our energy, and our voices to those victims of domestic abuse.
And to sell jeans.
Please, help us help others. Thank you.
Who's that?
Is that you?
No, that's our guy, the guy who brought her out.
And no one else was clapping?
No one else clapped. No, it was very, very weird.
Oh, man.
Wow, that's weird. I got to hear that.
I thought, I was going to clap, but I didn't want to draw attention to myself.
Yeah, right.
I was like laughing.
The press is really a bunch of dicks.
They really are.
I know. I've held press conferences where they just grumble and start complaining that they don't have any coffee and donuts. You're supposed to feed them, and I don't know, man. And then they're always hostile.
You know, it sounds like Jennifer Flowers got a better reception than Denise Brown.
I know.
If you ask me, they were there to attack her even worse than we.
Well, the press has this real hard on for, remaining objective, but, you can see the woman's frail.
They never look at this woman and say, yesterday she was a private citizen. She doesn't know this game, and she thinks she's doing something. Can't we just sort of lighten up on her a little bit?
Yeah.
Thank you. There is no excuse for abuse.
That is so wild.
That's a pretty bad slogan. There is no excuse for abuse. I mean, she had to work in no excuse. She should, they shouldn't have made her do that. That was probably somebody's idea to get no excuses jeans in there.
They didn't have their picture plastered enough.
There is no excuse for abuse.
They were probably thinking radio. There are no pictures in radio. You've got to say it.
Yeah. I hate to get hit in my Calvin Klein.
Excuse me, please. I understand that you might be getting some questions.
Just a few.
I wonder if you can clear up some contradictory information reported by the media. Did your sister leave behind a letter suggesting that if anything happened to her, the husband would be responsible?
We're not answering questions to the case or to any of that. What we're doing is we're channeling our energies in a positive direction for the foundation and the foundation only. Thank you.
Is she crying?
No.
Chelsea, she's crying.
Nah.
She's all right?
How do you feel about what amounts to when you made a commercial endorsement?
Excuse me?
What we're seeing here, no excuses signs, no excuses jeans, pictures, it amounts to a commercial endorsement, some would argue. And is that appropriate? Is that an appropriate forum for what you're trying to do?
I don't quite understand the question, but there's no endorsement. I mean, they have been working on a campaign for the last 2 years for domestic violence, against domestic violence. We have been asked, or they have been very kind to us.
She's not.
She doesn't know how to answer questions.
She's not supposed to be in this arena.
No. Because the guy asked a real fluff question. He just said, how do you feel? And it's a fluff question. How do you feel about No Excuses Jeans being all over this thing and turning this into a commercial thing? She should just say it's wonderful. I mean, I wish more companies would step forward and contribute money and contribute their time to help fight abuse. And I think it's terrific. And I have tons of pride in doing this because I'll do anything to raise money for this cause.
Not only that, shouldn't all companies be against domestic violence?
Oh, yeah, I would have gone into the whole thing. I'm all upset with companies that aren't up here today.
But the point is, wouldn't you, if you were No Excuses Jeans' PR firm, know that that was one of the first questions she was going to have to handle?
I don't know. You know what? To be honest with you, I don't know what this No Excuses Jeans is. I've never even seen No Excuses Jeans on anyone.
I finally ran into a display of No Excuses Jeans in a store once.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't seen them. They'd been around since Donna Rice, which was several years ago.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who wears them.
I've never seen a No Excuses Jeans.
Yes, I don't know that they have any market. I don't even know that there are No Excuses Jeans. I think those are the only pairs in existence that you saw.
I kept wondering, where do they get the money to fund these things?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they sell their jeans in Europe or something. Like, maybe it's like David Hasselhoff's music. It's famous in Europe.
Yeah, everybody in Europe is wearing it.
Yeah, I mean, what the hell's going on?
I didn't even know there was actually. I didn't even know it was a jean company.
I mean, what did you think No Excuses Jeans was?
No, it doesn't say No Excuses Jeans. It says No Excuses. I don't know.
Oh.
It could have been a perfume as far as I was concerned.
Really? You're stupid.
And you know what, Howard?
Yeah.
And they just gave her a check for $50,000. $50,000 to No Excuses.
Right.
Did
you have one of those big checks?
Yeah.
A big giant check?
Yeah.
How do you bring that to the bank? Do they freak out? Yeah. Bring it to a giant bank. Funny. Yeah, drive-through window. Big giant. You got to go to...
Drive it with a flatbed truck.
Yeah, it's like Gulliver's Travels.
And donating this check to the foundation.
But you're not at all uncomfortable with the fact that Donna Rice, Joan Rivers, Marla Maples, you're in that kind of company that you step into No Excuses.
Well, our main goal is to...
Our mango?
Our main goal.
Oh, our main goal.
But now here she seems more uncomfortable than any other.
Yeah, she's doing bad.
Yeah.
Totally on her own?
Yes.
Don't they usually have a spokesman or something to like...
They usually, at these things, have someone who could step in if they see you're having trouble.
Right.
Now, you heard there was just that one guy clapping, and he didn't seem to know how to step in to help
The
her.
guy clapping should have stepped in and said, can I just say one thing? What's her name again? Nicole.
Denise.
Did anyone call her Nicole? I always call her Nicole. But I just want to say something here that you got to understand that, I would have done a whole rap.
No, they left her floundering.
Yeah.
Educate the public and to get the word out there, to help people. And No Excuses has been kind enough to choose us as their foundation. I have no problem.
Denise, would you like to give Robert Shapiro a good swift kick in the nuts for his insensitivity towards you and your family?
We're talking about the foundation.
Denise, have you ever been abused? Now, there was an opportunity to say, I do not agree with violence of any kind.
Right. Hey, but in all seriousness, I can't believe we were trying to pick out questions for John, to go over to the press conference, and Robin says to me, no, that question's okay.
I did. I thought it was fine.
You're completely losing touch with reality.
Gentle start.
Yeah.
Like an animal.
She goes, well, that's a very gentle question.
No, you were crossing over. That's a good one.
And I really
So she didn't get pissed off at that?
No, the whole press was like, oh. Then you hear someone go, oh, Stuttering John's here.
Oh.
But then there's a guy in front of me who just looks back and then just starts laughing hysterically.
Right. Well, it's funny, too, because on TV, I noticed this time around, they don't even want to mention your name.
Like a heckler.
They call you a heckler.
Oh.
Yeah. You're not a fellow member of the press. And I even noticed in the newspaper reports today, there's no mention that she split quickly because of your questions.
Yeah, I saw the coverage on Entertainment Tonight, and they sort of acted as if it was a normal press conference and nothing bad happened.
It seemed like the whole press collectively said they're not going to...
they don't want to buy into you. But, hey, I thought they're supposed to report the news no matter what. There was news. I guess they pick and choose what is news.
Well, I thought that the whole audience of press had turned into Stuttering John yesterday. I thought that was news.
Yeah. Okay, so she didn't leave after that question.
No, she's still hanging in there.
Okay.
Have I ever been abused?
Oh, yes, someone asked abused.
Yeah, we were going to ask that, and we crossed it off the list.
I know. I thought that was just as probing as our question.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
That's a funny question. We're talking about a foundation. I have never...
Oh, boy, she's bad at this.
Out of it.
She is really bad. Yeah. I've never been abused until this press conference.
Yeah, this is kind of a battering, don't you think?
Thinking about the foundation. Have you ever been abused? Have I ever been abused? That's a funny question. We're talking about a foundation. I have never been physically abused, no.
That's a funny question. I thought your question was funnier than that. What she should have said is, this isn't about my personal life. This is about, the death of my sister and the women out there right now who are in trouble. I'm not presently in an abusive relationship, but who knows what could happen in the future. Something like that.
But the answer was yes. Say yes.
Yeah.
And I now realize that you cannot tolerate things like that.
Well, maybe she didn't want to reveal anything about it. If she didn't want to be personal... No, excuse me.
Come before the press, Howard. You should be ready.
Get out of here.
Ready to...
If someone doesn't want to answer that question, there's a way to answer it.
You could have just said no comment, really.
No, you just answer some dopey answer,
Denise, why do you think everyone is so afraid to say that O.J. is guilty?
We're not here to discuss the case.
Sorry.
She always had an answer
And then
for
she left?
John.
No, she's still hanging in.
She's still there.
Oh.
I bet she wanted to answer that.
What?
Sounded like she wanted to answer that.
Yeah.
That one she had an answer.
But you see, to me, that's a good question. That wasn't an odd question. It was like, hey, everyone knows he's guilty. Where is everyone? She's willing to say it. Why isn't anyone else willing to say, come on, let's be obvious about this. Everyone's uptight because he's a black guy and he's famous.
I found that to be a supportive question, if anything.
Hey, you bet.
Oh, you two are delusional.
That is a supportive question. I really do. You really think I'm delusional by saying that? Why is everyone afraid to step forward and say O.J.'s guilty?
Who is this everyone?
Anyone in showbiz. It's just like during the Michael Jackson case. You couldn't even get Oprah Winfrey to say, gee, there could be abuse here. I'm not going to say something about Michael Jackson.
But when you say everyone, you really don't define. Why is everyone in show business? Is that what you meant?
I'm telling you that people will not step forward and say, hey, let's face it, the guy's guilty. They're afraid to say it. They're afraid to talk about it. Yeah, they're afraid to even say they think he's guilty. I have interviewed 97 celebrities since this O.J. thing.
But you're talking about celebrities.
No, wait. How about the people on the street that we interview, Rob?
How about people?
That's black people.
How about people?
Well, so what?
How about people?
White people are saying it all the time.
Really? I don't hear them say it.
I haven't never heard it.
Oh,
Tony Katane won't say it.
Well, she slept with him.
Yeah. Allegedly. I got to hear when she walks out of the press conference. That's what I'm looking forward to.
In that you're here today, if you sit down with O.J. for a one-on-one, what would you say to him at this point?
All right, so that's an O.J. question. If you could sit down with O.J. at this point on a one-on-one, what would you say to him?
Sit down with O.J. on a one-on-one.
Saw him, what would you say? What would you say?
No, we're not discussing that.
Would you like to see O.J. put in a cell next to the guy who killed Jeffrey Dahmer? Excuse me.
Bye.
Oh, there you go.
Their questions were worse than mine.
Who are you talking to?
The media starts yelling at me, going, "You a-hole."
Oh, really?
Yeah, from everywhere I turned, because I was right in the middle of this patch of people.
Well, first of all, she's not answering one question, so why in the world would they be mad at you anyway? You saved them a whole bunch of time. They can go cover a legitimate story.
Because they wanted to ask more O.J. questions.
Yeah, they want to ask more O.J. questions, and she won't answer them anyway. Uh-oh, getting in a fight?
WXOK Radio. That's New York.
Questioning it?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't see why my questions are any different than him asking about no excuses. No, wait. He's telling her that she shouldn't be here because...
It's a press lynching.
Now, this is news. I didn't see this anywhere.
This is cool. The mob rule. The press starting to get the thieving mob.
John's getting battered. Where's somebody coming to his aid?
Yeah, where's no excuses? There's no excuse for abuse.
He's so used to getting attacked like this that he's just sitting there like nothing happened.
So who's attacking? Like other members of the press?
I would say 5 to 10 people now. Because of no excuses and I did something wrong? Give me a break. What a bunch of hypocrites we all are, aren't we? Bunch of hypocrites. You're stupid. What a bunch of hypocrites everyone is here.
Listen to them. Well, man, how do you take it?
It was tough.
Yeah.
I had to leave. I finally didn't get kicked out. I left on my own recognizance. I had to leave.
Why would you tackle a word like that?
Reconnaissance, right?
What was
Reconnaissance.
that? Reconnaissance. You're on a reconnaissance mission.
But I left on my own because everyone. It was like.
Why would you say I just left on my own? Why would you try to say the word what is it? It's not even used properly.
You can't say either.
No, recognizance is what you're trying to say.
And that's what I said.
But that isn't what you mean.
No.
The word recognizance doesn't fit into that sentence.
I thought that meant
I left
on my own accord. How's that?
I left on my own accord.
Volition.
But recognizance would be.
That you're watching yourself.
Yeah. You're playing, like, you're a criminal or something.
And the court releases you on your own recognizance.
Yeah, use it.
So that a deputy won't have to accompany you.
The court releases you on your own recognizance.
Yeah. You don't leave on your own recognizance.
He did it. John did the same thing. He was sitting down in the green room talking to Roseanne.
Yeah.
And he tried to tackle the word impotence. And he goes, yeah, they were talking about Prozac, and he goes, it causes impotence.
Right. Well, because it's an impotent discussion.
Right.
It's an impotent drug.
Anyway, everywhere I turned, there was just an angry face. So it was just like, and then everyone was like attacking me.
Cool.
Are those women people are just calling you stupid.
Well, no, yeah, they're calling me stupid. And this one
lady, I didn't have to do it.
And this one lady keeps just saying, "You ruined it. You ruined it for everybody."
Ruined what though? She wasn't answering any questions.
That tape sounds like if Charles Manson walked through a mall.
Yeah.
So it's like, John, oh my God.
OJ is treated nicer than John is treated.
I feel that John was battered.
What a bunch of hypocrites everybody is. Thank you. Yell at this guy for saying that you shouldn't be here because of no excuse. What's that?
Say that.
No, I think OJ is guilty. I think OJ is guilty. Yeah, and I think OJ is guilty.
People know who he is.
Oh, man. What was that guy saying? People don't know who he is?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. There's all different, There's a lot of a-hole, references and stuff like that.
And stupid. They just started throwing rocks at you.
Oh, man.
So, of course, it came across the Associated Press wire that she walked out of the news conference because of John, a reporter for the Howard Stern show.
Oh, good.
So that should be national news everywhere.
The truth is she walked out because they were all OJ questions. It wasn't particularly John.
John didn't help, but he didn't ruin it.
What was your last question? I forget.
Well, don't you want to have, OJ put in the cell next to the guys who killed Jeffrey Dahmer?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was being supportive, too.
Of course it was.
Not really. You don't agree?
Absolutely was supportive.
You guys.
You were the straw that broke the camel's back.
Under his own recognizance.
He couldn't even say that word again.
Recognizance.
All right, there you go.
We got to start putting those words in the questions.
Yeah.
Do you think OJ should be released under his own recognizance?
Hey, dude. What's the matter, man? You're acting real strange.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
I don't know, like real mellow or something, like a new attitude.
No, I just got up. Like my eyes are like hurting.
Yeah?
You ever get that way?
No.
You know what it is, Howard? I figured it out because I've been thinking he looked a little weird. It's the hair. His hair used to cover so much of his face, you never got...
Yeah, now you get to see the whole face, and it's disturbing.
Yeah, everything that's...
Yeah.
Well, I'm noticing he has a lot of tics.
He does. You should go on Prozac.
What do you mean tics?
Yeah, you do. You've developed
tics. Your face is doing things you don't know that it's doing.
Oh, I know that. When I saw the E-show for the first time...
You do a thing like this.
Do I?
Yeah.
When I saw the E-show and I saw how fast my tongue was going, I was pretty, embarrassed.
Yeah, you do a thing with your eye now. Robin, tell me if you've seen this one.
All right. Right, yes. Absolutely.
Come on.
You did it when you sat down today.
There's a little Igor in him.
There's Igor. He does this thing with his eyes, like...
Well, Howard, you gotta stand... No, Howard, you know what it is?
There's one.
No, you know what it is?
Well, let me see. What did I miss?
No. That light is right in my eyes.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
So it's like...
there it goes. There it goes.
And that's why. So when I'm here, I'll look up over there, and
and then you have a new tick too. Have you caught this one with his mouth? He goes like this.
Yes.
And the fish one.
And the fish one, which is that's when he's trying to get the word out.
Right.
So,
no, we're just talking about when he's sitting still, not talking. He has these faces.
Get out of here.
You go like this. And then you go.
No. It's like...
Let me see the. No, that's the fish. You're doing the fish, Fred. He makes a fish face.
But Howard, even on the Channel 9 show, you used to catch different fish.
What?
I noticed a new one just today. That's the second day in a row.
Let me see.
The nose scrunches up.
Yes.
Usually when you listen to fish. It used to be a fish, now it's more like a pig.
He lost the horse one. You know what?
Yeah, what happened to that one? The horse one.
It was like the horse in Animal House right before it died.
Yeah, this is the horse one.
No, it moves the mouth to the side.
The horse is...
Oh, that's funny.
The horse.
But that's scary that Gary said I look like a horse.
Yeah. That's the pot calling the kettle black.
Well, he would know, wouldn't he?
Anyway, you did a nice job, I think. I think he asked appropriate questions. They were no less appropriate than the other questions. And I liked it.
You guys are really going on.
Look at what you... Was she being a betting family for?
What'd you say?
Why?
I don't know what you just said.
I said, why is she being a Benedict Arnold about this question?
She's giving her opinion, that's all. It's called a discussion.
You know why we write those questions. It's never to be
but these, Howard, I think you especially made them, so they would just like...
I'll be quiet. It's so dumb.
Read the ones that you're going to have me ask.
All right.
Maybe that's why.
Are you ready? Do you think O.J.'s violent nature has anything to do with the fact that he's black?
I told you that was a good one.
That was a good one. You should ask that one.
If you was going to walk out, you might as well walk out pissed.
Was your family unhappy that your sister married a black man in the first place? Did O.J. ever flirt with you? Do you ever wish your sister had married Mike Tyson?
Oh.
Come on, aren't those worse?
What would you like to see O.J. get for Christmas? Electrocuted or lynched? Did your sister get implants? Did you ever see O.J. naked? We had some cool questions, but, you know, she might have freaked out. We tried to keep them simple.
See, I think you need to be in a one-on-one as those kind of questions.
What kind of name is Cato? Why didn't you people ever call Howard Stern for help?
See, I really wish they had asked that one. She might have answered that question.
Sure.
No, come on.
Which do you think Paula Barbieri needs more, psychological counseling or body armor?
That would have been...
Because of what happened, are you swearing off dating sports figures? I mean, there's millions of them. We had millions of questions for
Yeah,
her.
you had to go through reams and reams of questions to find those few.
As reporters, we feel bad that our questions were unanswered. Do you ever get nervous that you might get a visit from one of O.J.'s brothers or sisters? like, you know, that's pretty funny.
Sounds like yes is the answer to almost every question.
Yeah. Anyway, so there he is, Stuttering John out on the town with Denise Brown, Nicole Simpson's sister. And we'll take a break and be back right after these words. Thank you, Stuttering John.
You're listening to The Howard Stern Show.